Good afternoon. Thanks for joining our webinar today. My name is Darren Wright, and I'm the National Marine Program Leader at the National Weather Service's headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland. The purpose of today's webinar is to provide some background on the National Weather Service's Hazard Simplification project for those who might not have heard about it before, and to outline some specific proposals related to marine forecast products. The goal of Hazard Simplification, or HazSimp project, is to consider ways that we can simplify and clarify our hazard products with a focus on our watch, warning, and advisory system, and then to propose and implement alternatives in concert with social science and the broader community. We are not announcing any changes today, only letting our key partners know about some of our proposals under consideration and engage you in the process of providing feedback. No changes will be made without our formal notification process. We'll also talk about a survey we have out right now on those proposed changes. Today we'll start by looking at the National Weather Service's Watch, Warning, and Advisory System and some of the issues that we've had over the years with this system. Then we'll take a look at how the National Weather Service is looking to revamp this system, specifically through the marine products. I'll show you some examples of what is being proposed, and then we'll take a look at some of the next steps. The Watch, Warning, Advisory System in the National Weather Service has been around for decades, but we have heard from the public that there's still some confusion between these terms, the difference between a watch and a warning, which one comes first, what does an advisory mean, and also if you look to the right, each box, different colored box, is a representation of the different hazards that we have out there. There's a total of 124 products, 22 of which are marine products. So we have too many products. Here's an example I pulled off of weather.gov earlier this week before the East Coast storm that shows all of the hazards that are associated with just this small area. The arrows in red are showing the ones that are associated with marine. We are endeavoring to reduce this number to make things less confusing to the general public. Advisory is generally misunderstood, and watch and warning is sometimes confused. So we are looking at replacing these terms with more call to attention terms like notice, alert, possible, and emergency that are easier to understand. But the rest of this webinar, we're going to focus on this last point, reducing the number of products, shortening and focusing the message. We're calling this consolidation and reformatting. In September of last year, we went out with a survey about consolidating all 22 marine hazards into a marine advisory, watch, or warning. From positive feedback we received, we are proposing what I will show you in the next two slides. We're taking another look at other consolidations, which I will discuss towards the end of the brief. This schematic shows what small craft advisory would look like under this construct. Instead of multiple advisories for small craft, there would be a single advisory for all related threats called small craft advisory. I will be showing some specific examples after we walk through the proposals. This graphic shows how we plan to combine our surf zone or beach products. Right now we have beach hazard statement, rip current statement, and high surf advisories and warnings. We are proposing to consolidate all of these into a surf zone advisory, surf zone watch, and surf zone warning. In addition to consolidating, we're also looking at reformatting our messages. In the past, we've gotten positive feedback about using a bulleted format, but some of our messages are still too long. So we've come up with a what, where, when format that supports brevity and focuses on impact. Here's an example of the small craft advisory as it exists today. I apologize for how small the font is, but I wanted to get the whole message on this slide so I can show you the difference between the existing message and how it will look under the new reformatting. Notice the what, where, when, and the fact that the message is much briefer. You also notice what I have circled in red. I mentioned earlier that we have a survey out on the street right now, and this is one of the examples. What's circled in red is actually incorrect. The message should say small craft advisory in effect, and then the details of the hazard are in the what statement. If there are any questions on this, please email me at darren.wright@noaa.gov. That will be up on the last screen if you have any questions about this. This is an example of our beach hazard statement as it exists today. Notice that the format is different than our watch warning advisory system. It is bulleted, but you have to look at different places to find the information that you need. This is how the beach hazard statement will look in the new format as a surf zone advisory. Again, you'll see the what, where, when, and the fact that the message is much shorter. With the consistent format, you'll know exactly where to look to get the information you need. Likewise, here is our rip current statement. Again, this is a statement, and it's different than the beach hazard statement, and it's different than the watch warning advisory system. So under the new format, you'll see the what, where, when, as you saw in the others, but it will now be a surf zone warning, and the threat will be in the what, life-threatening rip current expected. We are doing similar consolidation up in the Great Lakes for their flood hazards. Again, you'll see the what, where, when. Likewise, on our coastal flood products, we are doing the same reformatting. This is all in an effort to have consistency across all of our hazards. So no matter what hazard you're looking at, you'll know exactly where to get your information. As I mentioned, we are doing a survey right now on these proposed changes. The address of that survey is at the top of the screen and will also be on the last slide. We've worked with social scientists to generate this survey, and there will be several examples of a before and after, and you'll be asked if you strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. This survey ends on January 11th, 2018. As I mentioned earlier, we are considering some additional consolidations. We would like to consolidate everything down into marine advisory, watch, and warning, but have the associated hazard after a colon, as in the examples at the bottom of the screen. We would like some feedback on this proposal, so please feel free to email me. My email will be on the last screen. In summary, we have a public survey out on the street right now that closes on January 11th, 2018. Any changes proposed in the survey will not go into effect until at the earliest fall of 2018, but only after our official notification process. For any software developers out there who use the VTEC codes of our hazard messages, we are not changing or developing any new VTEC codes. We will simply be retiring those codes of the hazards that we're consolidating. So there should be no need for any software updates or changes. Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions about hazard simplification, you can send it to the simp@noaa.gov, or you can send it directly to me at darren.wright@noaa.gov. If you have any questions about what you've heard, or you'd like to provide us some feedback on some of our new proposals, again, please email me. I'm happy to respond. The link at the bottom of the page is of the survey. I'll leave it up just for a few more seconds so you can get it. Again, it closes on January 11th. Thank you for your time, and thanks for joining us today.